reports coming out from us and others that the Trump administration would relax some of the auto tariffs, but there's no detail in there. There's some out there that they won't stack metals tariffs on top of auto tariffs, for example, and there could be some relief on parts, but until automakers look at the details and see exactly what they're going to have to pay and what they won't be paying, it's hard for them to forecast earnings and sales. And look, they have all kinds of ways to try to plan for tariffs, mitigate them, and also model out the impact on the business. And they can't do any of that until they know exactly what it's going to say. So I think what GM did is they looked at this and they just said, hey, the guidance that they had given out did not count really for any kind of major tariff scheme here, despite the fact that Trump had campaigned on it and said he was going to levy them. They gave guidance that had nothing to do with those tariffs. I think probably the tariffs are bigger than GM thought, much more aggressive than GM thought. So they've withdrawn the guidance, and they had a $6 billion share buyback. 2 of it's already funded and will be done in the second quarter. The other $4 billion's on hold, again, until they can understand what the tariffs will mean for their profits and their cash flow. So this is all about finding out what the details are and then trying to model and plan the business going forward. And they just don't feel they can do it right now.
What are GM and some of the other auto manufacturers doing now, David, in terms of, are they making any changes to production, to sales incentives, or is it just business as usual as they try to figure out what's going on?
There are small changes here and there. It's really difficult to change production or change your parts. I mean, you can't do that overnight. You can't. It can take a year to do that, let alone, we've been at this for a couple of months. But one thing General Motors has done, so they have 4 pickup truck plants. It's their highest volume vehicle, the Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra. 2 of the plants are in the U.S., one's in Canada, one's in Mexico. Of course, those vehicles coming from Canada and Mexico are subject to tariffs, at least on the parts, the non-U.S. parts inside them, and that's pretty substantial. So what GM has done there is they've jacked up production at their Fort Wayne, Indiana plant to get more pickups out of there. They've just increased, they were already running 3 shifts, but they've increased the line speed, so they're working it faster to get more vehicles out. It'll add about 50,000 trucks a year, and that's one way to offset tariff production of trucks and sell American-made vehicles. And you're seeing stuff like that. I think some companies may be slowing production of some vehicles that have tariffs on them because they either can't pass the cost on to consumers, or it's no longer as profitable to sell so many of them. So you may be seeing some of that stuff, but a lot of it's been business as usual, but you're seeing some small moves like GM has made.